I'm sure you're no stranger to the concept of working from home. What you may not know is it's becoming more popular throughout the years. All you need to do is Google this, and the results may actually shock you. But with the outbreak of the C virus, which I will call it, I'm sure you can read between the lines, more people's income has been reduced to zero unless they're in certain fields like the medical field or working for Amazon. With that being the case, a lot of people are taking a look at working from home and seeing what ways they can generate income. I've been working from home for the last 3 years, and that's including freelancing, writing, and my online business, Financial Anatomy. We're actually going to focus on the second one, which is the writing aspect in this video, because this is part 2 in the series on working from home. This series was inspired due to many people needing to work from home because their income has been reduced to zero. And whether you're looking for more spending money or you actually need to replace your full-time income because it's been reduced to zero because of the C virus outbreak, you're going to find value in this video. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video produced by Financial Anatomy, the place where you can take control of your financial destiny. And in this video, we're going to be covering specifically how the skill of writing can benefit you in terms of working from home. See, most people underestimate this skill because it's just something we seem to do and we take for granted. But if you actually are good at writing, this is a skill that can be monetized. So it's just kind of sitting in your fingertips, just not being used, but it can have a benefit or value to bring you in terms of money. For me personally, I have a business called The App Lifestyle, where I've written various articles on the topics of rideshare and delivery, and those articles have made me passive income just coming in automatically based on how I have it set up. I've also written a best-selling book called The Anatomy of Financial Success. And for those of y'all that are wondering, this is an actual book. Some people do come up with books that serve as lead magnets so they can get your email and use for further marketing. And I'm not knocking that, but this book is available on Amazon and it's available on my website. I'm actually in the process of narrating the audiobook. So how that plays into this video is, it's just another way that you can monetize the skill in your fingertips, which is writing. So in this video, we're gonna go over 3 ways that you can monetize the skill of writing. And the good thing about writing is, even if you don't have the skills on it, it is a skill that's readily accessible to most people, because if you're not good at it, there's plenty of tutorials on how to write actually on YouTube. So even if you don't have a natural talent, you can still develop a skill. So let's get into the 3 ways that you can monetize your writing. The first way that you can monetize your writing is through freelancing. What this looks like is there are various publications that you can write articles for, and they will pay you if you can give value to them. So what does that look like? We'll take me for instance. So I'm in the finance industry. There's no shortage of blogs that focus on finance, whether it be personal finance or business. There's different aspects, and that's going to lead us into finding what area you want to focus on. There's 3 main areas when it comes to life in general and giving value. There's finance, there's health, then there's relationships. Which one of those do you have the most interest in, the most experience, or the most passion in? You pick that one, and then you want to narrow in a niche. So for me, it'd be personal finance. See, there's different types of finance. There's a creative finance, business, personal finance. You kind of get the gist. So from there, a skill has been narrowed down, and then you need to start looking for publications that publish that kind of work. Now, in order to get on board, you might have to do something you're not going to like, which is you might need to write for free and give them just a little sample of your work just on the house. I know that's going to be emotionally strange to people who are in the working class, who are used to really getting paid for their work. But you got to realize that you're an experiment at this point. They don't know how good your work is going to be or none of that. So the easiest way to get your foot in the door is actually to give them something for free. And how big that something is going to depend on the publication. So just be emotionally ready for that. But once you get your foot in the door, already have a price in mind for how much you want to charge in order to write. because this is a skill that can easily be monetized. While I will say that that's probably the best way to do it, the most effective way, and the way which you can make the most money, there is a few other ways if you decide to use one of these freelance outlets like Fiverr or Upwork, because you can just put your services on there as a writer and you can have people coming to you, or you can start seeking clients out that are on these freelance websites as far as writing articles and stuff. Just realize that these third-party companies serve as the middlemen, so there may be certain pricing restrictions. I won't say pricing restrictions, but you got to play by their rules. Now, I'll leave links to Fiverr, Upwork, and other freelance sites that you can use, and those are affiliate links, so I do benefit if you do use those links, but they do support the channel, so if you do use them, it's much appreciated. But the trade-off is all the convenience of having clients in one place which you can reach out to. That's the pro to using the freelance site. But the cons is they are going to obviously take a fee, and you got to play by their rules. But their rules aren't that strict per se. The freelance site with the least barrier to entry is probably Fiverr, so you might want to consider starting there. For those of y'all that need more of a visual, I've typed in the word writing on Fiverr and just see what pops up. This just gives you an idea of just how much in need the service of writing is on these freelance platforms, so don't underestimate them. Now, if you want to know more about freelancing in general, I suggest you watch part 1 of the series where I go into how to be a freelancer, but this is sticking specifically to writing, so we're going to stay on that subject. Before we get to the second reason, I would like to say if you're enjoying this video so far and also this series, consider giving it a like for the YouTube algorithm. Really helps a lot. Subscribe if you're new and hit that bell icon so you can figure out when the next video in the series drops. So with that being said, number 2 is starting a blog. Now, a blog is going to generally be slower, but it pays you dividends in the future if you know how to monetize it right. Now, we're going to use me as an example here. I have the App Lifestyle website, which has several articles on rideshare and Uber Eats. And specifically, there's an article titled 7 items that you need to be a successful Uber Eats driver. I talk about these 7 items and how you really need them in order to be successful, and how it just enhances the experience and also makes you more money. And those items are available on Amazon. So guess what? They have affiliate links. That article currently generates about between $50 to $100 per month, but I actually have kind of left it alone. So if I wanted to, I could scale that up. In addition to affiliates, blog posts can actually be sponsored. So if you're covering a certain topic, companies can reach out to you, or you can reach out to them and negotiate a sponsorship for a flat fee. The fees that you can charge are going to vary depending on how big your blog is and also how much traffic you're getting to it. So you're going to need some way to get traffic to your blog, whether it be YouTube or Google or Facebook. You want to decide how you're going to get traffic there, but just initially, a blog is going to be slower, but it's more of a long-term thing. So if you really need like income like right now, I'm going to recommend you get started with number 1. However, if you can do both in terms of being a freelance writer and a blogger, I would, because if you have a blog that has X amount of viewers, you can use that as leverage to get your foot in the door with some of these freelancing sites. Just something to remember. And number 3, which is my personal favorite, is to write a book. Now, don't be overwhelmed by the aspect of writing a book. It just comes down to picking one of those areas that we talked about. Like everything I mentioned, it's going to be in one of those areas. So finance, health, relationships, then you really niche down. So I actually have a full video for later in this series dedicated to how to write a book, but I will just go over some quick little keynotes, and we'll expand on that in the video which comes later in the series. So what you need to write a book is you need to know who your target audience is, their likes, their dislikes, and their age range. It's going to be fiction or nonfiction. When it comes to the aspect of actually planning out the chapters, I use a concept called mind mapping. Now you can Google this, or just wait till the next video in the series, or click in the card in the top right hand corner where I'll be sure to leave the link. But mind mapping is where you take one word which is going to serve as kind of the blueprint for a chapter, and you just start to map out ideas around that chapter. Then you organize them based on those ideas and which way kind of fits in which place from a sequential perspective. And then you have yourself a chapter. But like I said, I'm going to go deeper into that in another part in the series. Next, you write your rough draft. Then you read through your rough draft verbally out loud so you can catch your own errors. Then you have your second draft. Then you find yourself an editor. Then you find yourself a book designer. Then you publish the book. Now, there is more to it, and it's a little, I oversimplified it there, but I want to put it in this video because this is a way where it can be very active or passive, depending on how aggressive you want to be. What I mean by active is, remember how being a freelance writer is something you can put energy into right now and start making money? Well, once the book is actually published, that reigns true for the book too. But you see, remember how the blog was kind of a passive thing? Income can start coming in just automatically if you have it set up right. A book can be set up like that too if you have the right marketing systems in place. We'll cover that in the book when I make a video specifically on writing the book in the Work at Home series, and when I talk about sales in the Work at Home series. So that's just something to look forward to. But that covers this video. Be sure to stay tuned for part 3 of the Work at Home series. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell icon so you can figure out when the next time I'll be dropping a video is, and I will catch you in the next video. Look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget to get out there and take control of your financial destiny.